This segment is brought to you by Barker Honda. It's better at Barker.
My name is Brad Wellens. I'm the regional manager for the Bayou region for the Louisiana Campaign for Cigarette Free Living, which is a program of the Louisiana Cancer Research Center and the Louisiana Public Health Institute. We are so happy to be here to be a part of this community discussion for Region 3 around youth vaping. Our technical facilitator, Michelle Uda, will be controlling the presentation flow and virtual access to the town hall. I don't know how many people we have online, but it's even more than we have in the crowd, and this is a great turnout, so thank you all for coming. We'd also like to thank Terrebonne General Health System and the Foundation, who graciously allowed us to use the space. The Foundation has given us a free lunch, and so we really appreciate all the work that they've done. Today is also the Great American Smokeout, which was an initiative founded by the American Smokeless Society almost 50 years ago. So in 1976, what ACS said was, we want everyone to quit smoking for one day. They had over 1 million people in 1976 to do that, and they've continued to since then every day on the third Thursday in November. And so this is gathering. And this is why we had this event on this day, to bring attention to smoking and cessation need for cessation, but also to bring attention to the biggest rise in smoking, which has been youth vaping. So our objective today, what we are going to do is we would like during this town hall to hear from y'all, to hear from our panelists, to bring a very good perspective to all the different issues that vaping has caused among our youth. So what we want you to take away from this is to be able to describe the e-cigarette product and discuss the misconceptions about vaping. Because a lot of people do not think that vaping is smoking. Second, we'd like to see if we can identify the current trend in vaping and e-cigarette use. And in particular, there's a new product called pouches, nicotine pouches, which are on the rise among youth just as much as vaping used to be 10, 12 to 15 years ago. Third, we'd like to summarize the strategies for youth prevention and share the tools that are available for youth vape cessation to give parents, teachers, administrators, professionals such as yourselves the tools that they can use to try to stop this vaping epidemic. So what we're going to do, we'd like to work together with all of y'all, with everyone online, and everyone in Region 3. Because what this is a community discussion. It's a community town hall. We don't know everything. We have a lot of experts who would talk to us, but we really want to hear from what everyone's seeing from their perspective at their level in their local community here in Terrebonne and the whole region.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I just want to say thank you for coming today. This is a great event, and we love to be a community partner. All of my team members, which I see many faces out there, and of course on our panel, thank you so much. Recognize our philosophy is always to partner with our community to make a healthier community. This is really special for us because not only does it help our community, but our youth. And our youth is something that we need to all invest in, because I think as parents, and we all have some kids, whether a variety of ages, but I think there is a misnomer about what vaping is or isn't. I do recognize that cigarette smoking in my generation and my parents' generation was a common thing. Now kids are vaping and they feel like it is so different than what it was before. I think our docs on the panel and several others will be able to identify really if it's harmful or is it healthy. Now, I don't think it's the healthy part, but hopefully today we'll be able to get some of those misnomers out. Our youth are our future leaders. We want to have a vibrant community. I'm very active on wanting to make sure that Terrebonne Parish and our region continue to maintain people within our scope and maintain people throughout our region, but we need them healthy and we need them happy, but most of all, we need them educated. And I think things like this, as we can partner together, helps bring information for not only all of you who are in our audience and those who are on Zoom, because one word will help convince somebody else of another information. But again, you're fooling with some adolescent population and some of our younger population, and they're not going to believe just you. Maybe you're a better parent than I am, but I can convince them all day long to say that is harmful. But until somebody probably of a different skill set or something tells them, or they hear it in a different way, they understand the impact. And I think we just haven't had as much information as we did before. And I think that information now is becoming very relevant and prevalent, that I think that we can give and share that information. So today I want to thank definitely our group and our partnership with Tobacco Free Living. I want to thank our panelists. I want to thank our foundation for bringing this to our attention and making sure that we are. I know you've got comfortable couches, so let's thank that too, because that works really good too. But I think, again, I want to thank all of you for attending. I see that we also have some students, which is very impactful. They are teaching our future. They are becoming our future nurses and caregivers. And so we've got a wide variety of generational information in this room, and I'm sure on Zoom and up here on our panel. So please take the day for what it's worth. Please enjoy the day. It is a day about education and changing the mindset of us moving forward. So thank you for inviting us. Thank you for letting us participate. And with that, I'll turn it over to Miss Jenny. How about that?
This segment was brought to you by Barker Honda. It's better at Barker. This segment is brought to you by Trap Chevrolet. We're always on your side.
We are in partnership with Terrebonne General Health Systems and also the foundation of Terrebonne General here in Houma in the Bayou region. And this is a great partnership where we're able to bring in the community members who advocate for young people, parents, healthcare providers who take care of young people, and bring everyone to the table, even someone from a sheriff's department, to talk about how to address the issue, how to incorporate more restorative consequences, more positive consequences versus punitive or negative suspensions for children who are found with vape products. So this is a much needed discussion within this area, and we're just proud to be a part of it in partnership with Terrebonne General.
TFL has had a number of different initiatives working with youth in schools. One of them, we have a vape toolkit to work with parents, kids, teachers, administrators in schools. We have bathroom decals that we put up for the kids that are in the bathroom. And we're partnered with the Louisiana Department of Health to do a quit line, both for kids and for youth and adults, for all tobacco, not just vaping, but cigarettes as well.
So in Louisiana, based on the 2023 Youth Tobacco Survey that the Tobacco Free Living actually does every other year, we found that 1 in 3 high school students and 1 in 5 middle school students vape. So that's 30% of high school students and 18% of middle school students vape, and it's constantly increasing. And even though in the past few years, the actual rate of use of youth using vape products have decreased across the nation, it's still high and increasing in the state of Louisiana. So our purpose today is to actually get feedback from the community and get input from our experts within the Bayou region here in Louisiana to see what's actually happening on school campuses and within the community amongst youth that are using vape products. And that would lead us to a call to action what steps that we need to take to actually address this health issue amongst our young people?
Terrebonne is about the same as the state, maybe a little bit less in some part, but it's actually more when you look at smokeless tobacco, when you look at dips, when you look at chewing tobacco. And right now we're seeing the rise of nicotine pouches, and those are skyrocketing in popularity, particularly with kids. Because the thing around there is that that's why vapes are so important or so addictive to kids, is because 95% of the kids, they're not vaping tobacco flavors. They're vaping flavors like mint, apple, mango, things like that. And it's the same with the nicotine pouches.
Some common misconceptions about vaping is that people think that it's healthier and better than smoking a regular combustible cigarette. And that's a big myth. It's not. It causes a lot of health issues. It causes extreme lung damage amongst young people. And they don't expect to experience the short-term health effects by using vape products, but it actually happens. It also affects their brain. So because young people's brains are continuing to grow and are not fully developed until the age of 25, so it increases their risk for becoming addicted to substances. And it also causes problems with learning, cognitive problems, and also affects their mental health. Programs that we have in place to address the vaping issue, as a number of strategies that we at the Tobacco Free Living Campaign for Tobacco Free Living does. We have our Next Era initiative where we have two components to that. We have our Youth Advisory Board, and these young people actually advise us and provide us with information and inform us of what's happening within their schools. And that will help us as adults address the issue within our schools. Also, we have our Next Era groups, which are teams within the communities. And these young people are empowered to become advocates within their communities. They're learning about the dangers and information about vaping. And they're actually high school kids who are going to middle school kids and elementary school kids and teaching them about vaping and how not to start. So those are our Next Era programs where we're involving youth and we're bringing youth to the table to help us address the issue. We also have these vape town halls across the state where we're getting input from the communities, and that actually helps us address what's happening. Each community is different, just like Louisiana is different from the rest of the United States. And so we want to take that in consideration when we're trying to reduce vape usage. Healthcare providers are a staple within the community. You're a big part of the community. You're handling people's health, and a big part of that is youth and adolescent health. And so when you're seeing these kids, with the pediatricians are actually seeing these kids, where it's important that they screen and ask the right questions and ask it the right way in order to get the children to open up to what they're actually doing. So healthcare providers are essential in providing information about vaping to young people, actually explaining the effects of it to them. And also healthcare providers can help teach parents about vaping and what to look for.
This segment was brought to you by Trapp Chevrolet. We're always on your side.